Yo, 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 yo. What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Key to the Streets. Today, we're going to go over a deal that my virtual assistant brought in. Literally, virtual assistant who started with me probably about a year and a half ago now brings in a contract, and we close that deal on Friday. Officially closed on the freaking record. Let's bring Karen up. You guys have met Karen before. Karen, what up? What up?
Hey everybody.
Karen, holy crap. I don't even know where to start. The channel, most of my viewers that watch the channel already know who you are, but Karen is my very first virtual assistant hire I ever hired. And she's the first virtual assistant in my business to be an acquisition manager. Wasn't What is an acquisition manager in my business? It's essentially the person who goes out and gets the contract. So it goes from a cold caller and texter that generates a lead to a lead manager who handles the lead until they're ready to be closed. And then Karen comes in and closes the deal. So, little background story. About maybe 1.5 months ago or something, I have a conversation with Karen. I'm like, Karen, you know what? I think I've been waiting too long for this. Um, it's time for you to be an acquisition manager. I'm not just going to have you go straight into acquisition appointments, because what happens is the lead manager tees up acquisition appointments for the acquisition team. And I was like, I'm not just going to do you. I'm not just going to throw you in the fire right in the beginning. So why don't we do this? Here's your job. In the next 30 days, your job is to just hang out in our CRM and find a dead opportunity that everybody else is overlooking and essentially generate a contract. I think it was literally, what was it, Karen? In like the first 2 weeks? In the first 2 weeks of me saying that, she generates one. And the goal is like, hey, by the end of the 30 days, create an opportunity that lands a contract. And then you will be on all the acquisition appointments like the acquisition team is. And boom, she does it in freaking 2 weeks. So, Karen, let's talk about the deal a little bit. Um, how did that conversation go? Do you remember?
Man, I have talked to a lot of people. I don't remember.
I think Karen's stuck in the matrix a little bit. Karen, can you hear me?
I can hear you though.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I think it was the camera. But no, she has so many freaking conversations that she barely remembers. But I remember the conversation. Guy lives out of state, and he has a property with a tenant in there who's essentially taking advantage of him. Finally, we end up solving the problem. Karen's like, hey, how do we help this guy? I'm like, hey, we can give the tenant some cash for keys. Boom, we get a deal done. We lock it up, closed last week. So Karen will get her first acquisition manager check coming up at the end of the week this week. Um, so badass. But what I want to go over is like how this, how Karen's process has been so far, right? Like she started with me a year and a half ago as a cold caller. She was cold calling for me. And Karen, do you want to go over your journey so far?
Sure. Yeah, so to be honest, at this point, I'm still like in awe, and it's still overwhelming to know that wow, I have come this far. Like I started with being a cold caller, and I thought I'll be forever a cold caller because I feel like it was impossible for me to like um go over deeper negotiations with these sellers that are not even near my culture, or all that. So I thought, okay, I'll be a cold caller, and I think there's nothing I can do about it. And then Mike comes in, and um, I was hired as a cold caller, and we actually both of us thought that I could be a lead manager this time, but not an acquisition manager. But then, um, as as I was growing, as we were both growing, I think one thing that was really helpful was Mike has always been having that complete trust in me that I can do things. I can do all these things, that I can manage all these positions with what I can do. So I felt like, yeah, I think I can do it. And as as time goes by, as my skills are also upgrading, as I listen to conversation, I started to believe, yeah, I can do that conversation. Why can't I not do that?
Mm-hmm.
So I started to have bigger goals for myself. Oh, I can be a lead manager, and that's when Mike um offered me the lead manager position. And having that thought of someone completely having trust in me that I can do it was really very helpful for me to have that confidence. And um he was not right. I mean, he was right in everything that he told me about. Like, there are some things that, like, there are some things that I didn't realize that Mike realizes. Like, he sees so much in me that sometimes he needs to tell it to me to make me realize it. And yeah, and then eventually I can do it. And then with everything, with Mike going me throughout the process, with me growing with hands-on experiences, I think it's not hard. I mean, it's difficult for somebody like Mike to entrust me these leads, because what if I mess it up? What if I'm not gonna do a good job? But Mike gave his complete trust on having me just mess up those calls, and always know that you have somebody to fall back on and gain experiences from that. There's nothing like a messed up call or a wrong call, because you always gain something from it. So that's when I realized, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll learn whatever experiences I could have through whatever call there is. And that made me grow. So the growing phase was me having so many conversations. And then to the point where I was the acquisition manager. At first, wow, I'm going to an acquisition manager this time. And that was for me um a very, very, like, I can't imagine it. This is just something I dreamed of. And now I'm there. And I'm just so happy that
Not only are you there, but you're actually getting contracts.
yeah, that's
But by the
it.
way, that was the first deal that closed. That's what I'm saying. But we also have deals under contract at the moment that are going to close. So she's done multiple contracts in the past like month and a half, literally. And I blame myself. That's what I started with. I'm like, I took too long to bring you to an acquisition manager standpoint. So crazy, Karen. It's like it's absolutely insane what you were doing. So one thing I want to touch on too. Not only is Karen crushing it, getting contracts, but she's also doing a bunch of other things. She's actually coaching lead managers in our business on how to be lead managers. So we have like a player coach model, right? So when we bring somebody up a step, like from cold caller to lead manager, um, Karen coaches them on how to do that because Karen's been in that position before. Like I said, player coach model. So Karen has coached our lead manager who has essentially teed her up with appointments to lock up, right? So literally, not only are you doing not only are you doing the closing of the deals, but you're also helping people get you the closed deals. Not only that, but everybody always asks me, "Hey, where do you get your virtual assistants from?" And I'm like, "Listen, we grow internally. Like we don't have an onboarding process. We don't have like, hey, we're reaching out to this certain agency or we have this certain process or whatever the case is, right? Um, that's not the case. Like we have grown internally. So what Karen has done without my attention, I didn't even know this. Karen is a leader at her church, and essentially what she's done is, we'll put it this way: I contact the team. I say, "Hey, team, we're looking for another cold caller." And Karen is the first one to raise her hand. And she says, "Hey, I have a great one." I'm like, "Okay, put me on an interview with that cold caller." Put me on an interview with her. And I'm like, holy crap. Like she knows everything. Like I role play with her for a second, and I didn't even have to get through the whole entire role play. I'm like, she knows our whole entire script. She knows like she's better at cold calling than most people in the States would be. Like she's really good, literally. literally, I'm not even gonna go there, but trust me, she's better than most people in the states, like that I'm talking to. People that I've talked to today, literally today, she's better than them, which is so crazy. So not only is she like closing deals out of the Philippines, but she's also coaching people in her community and bringing them up a level, getting an interview and getting a job, landing her community's jobs. It's impressive. It really, 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 really is impressive. Not only that, but the fact that you are closing deals and people spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars to figure out how to close deals and they still can't close deals in the States. People that understand our culture, they get our culture. They watch our TV shows. They do all the things right in America, and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to close deals, and they don't know how. I give Karen 2 weeks, and she gets a deal locked up. I give her another 2 weeks, she gets another deal locked up. That's impressive, Karen. Like it truly, truly is impressive. So I want to. I had to give you your flowers. I'm super proud of you. You have anything else you want to add?
Yeah. I think the bottom line of why I was able to do that is because it started with um being influenced with Mike himself. Like Mike has started to not just focus on the business, but to also try to influence other people. And I feel like when I started to do the training, I feel like, oh, I'm being like Mike. And I felt like and I felt like, oh, I'm being like Mike. Like also when Mike started to not just focus on the business and try to influence other people as well in the business, I think I also have the responsibility to do that to other people because I was helped. And I think um helping others would be a good way to return that help that I received from Mike. So I felt like, okay, let's do it. And I've been helped with the helping I did because it 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 molded me to become a leader, to also approach them like I've had different VAs with different level of communication. Those who have no idea what cold calling is like, those who have a slight idea. So I was able to like, how do I do this with a variety of skills in in our community, in those people that I have dealt with. And I think um with the level of communication, um cold calling, having that skills of communication doesn't only apply on the calls, but also in real life conversation. And I think
Hmm,
that's really helping me a lot.
I love it. I'm so proud of you. So,
Yeah.
so good. Guys, give Karen some love. Throw some comments in there. Give Karen some love. If y'all are getting any value from the channel, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Like I said, give Karen some freaking love. We appreciate y'all watching. Karen, you are freaking amazing. Let's go. We'll let y'all know. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do another key to the streets. We're gonna go over like line by line what happened on the next deal that's going to close that you brought it. So that's what we'll do.
Okay.
But appreciate y'all watching. Peace.
Peace.